Which NFL teams make up the top 10 offensive lines in the entire league? Welcome to the PFN YouTube channel. I am Dalton Miller. You can find me on Twitter at Dalton B. Miller. And today we are going through Dallas Robinson's top 10 offensive lines in the NFL. But before we get into it, make sure that you guys are subscribing to the channel. Make sure that you guys are liking this video, and make sure that you guys hit that bell because we have a ton more content coming your way. And trust me, you're not going to want to miss it. But without further ado, let's get into Dallas's top 10 offensive lines. At number 10, the Minnesota Vikings. At left tackle, we have Christian Darrisaw. Left guard, Ezra Cleveland. Center, Garrett Bradbury. Right guard, Ed Ingram. And at right tackle, we have Brian O'Neill. Credit to first-year Vikings O-line coach Chris Cooper, who got the best performance out of Minnesota line in years. Darrisaw and O'Neill look like long-term tackle pairings, but the Vikings will need to monitor guard, where Ingram gave up more pressures than any lineman in the league. An interior offensive lineman could be at the top of Minnesota's list of needs as soon as 2024. At number 9, we have the San Francisco 49ers. At left tackle, we have the great Trent Williams. At left guard, we have Aaron Banks. At center, we have breakout star Jake Brendel. Right guard, Spencer Burford. And at right tackle, Colton McKivitz. Banks, Brendel, and Burford had 3 career NFL starts for their name. All of those were Brendel's heading into last season, but the 49ers made it work. They'll be adding yet another new inexperienced face in the form of McKivitz, who will take over for Mike McGlinchey at right tackle. Of course, things are a lot easier when you have Williams, the best lineman in the sport, at left tackle. Number 8, the Green Bay Packers. At left tackle, you have David Bakhtiari. Left guard, Elgton Jenkins. Center, Josh Myers. Right guard, John Runyon Jr. And at right tackle, Zach Tom. Bakhtiari remained excellent when he was on the field, although injury setbacks limited him to 11 games. He'll be back in 2023 after restructuring his contract, as will Jenkins, who became the NFL's 3rd highest paid guard after inking an extension with the Packers. 7 Green Bay linemen played at least 400 snaps in 2022, so the club has plenty of experienced players to act as depth. Right tackle remains a question. Tom, who played 4 positions during his rookie campaign, could settle in there, but Yosh Nijman is also a candidate to hold down that spot. At 7, the Atlanta Falcons. At left tackle, we have Jake Matthews. At left guard, we have Matthew Bergeron. Center, Drew Dahlman. Right guard, Chris Lindstrom. And right tackle, Caleb McGarry. The Falcons offered the league most surprising O-line performance in 2022. Admittedly, Atlanta's run-heavy offensive scheme and prevalent use of play action in the passing game often made it easier on the team's line. But Lindstrom was a second-team All-Pro, and McGarry earned himself a significant free agent contract. Second-round rookie Bergeron could be an upgrade over Matt Hennessy, the weak link in Atlanta's line last season. Number 6, the Baltimore Ravens. At left tackle, we have Ronnie Stanley. At left guard, we have Ben Cleveland. At center, we have Tyler Linderbaum. At right guard, we have Kevin Zeitler. And at right tackle, we have Morgan Moses. Lamar Jackson is officially back with the Ravens, and he'll return to virtually the same line that ranked first in run blocking win rate last season. The only new starter is Cleveland, who started 5 games over previous 2 campaigns, but will now take over on a full-time basis after Ben Powers left for the Broncos. Stanley remains an injury risk after missing 32 games over the past 3 seasons, while Zeitler and Moses are both on the wrong side of 30 years old. However, Baltimore has decent O-line depth in Patrick McCarry and Daniel Falele, both of whom saw starting action a year ago. At 5, we have the Dallas Cowboys. At left tackle, we have Tyron Smith. At left guard, we have Tyler Smith. At center, we have Tyler Biotish. At right guard, we have Zach Martin. And at right tackle, we have Terrence Steele. Trust me, writing about the Dallas Cowboys offensive line is not easy when you have Tyron Smith, Tyler Smith, and Tyler Biotish all on the same offensive line. It makes naming in articles very confusing. Cowboys may no longer have the best offensive line in the NFL, but they've still got a top 5 unit in our book. Tyron Smith and Martin are future Hall of Famers, while Tyler Smith, who will shift inside to guard, was incredibly impressive during his regular season. Steele is an underrated tackle whom Dallas will likely sign to an extension in 2024 once Tyron Smith's contract expires. At number 4, the Kansas City Chiefs. At left tackle, we have Donovan Smith. At left guard, we have Joe Thuney. At center, we have Creed Humphrey. At right guard, we have Trey Smith. And at right tackle, we have Jawan Taylor. The Chiefs' uber impressive interior of Thuney, Humphrey, and Smith will remain a constant for the 3rd straight year, Kansas City has completely revamped its offensive tackle situation again. Orlando Brown Jr. is gone after signing a multi-year deal with the Bengals, and Andrew Wiley joined the Commanders. Taylor, who inked a 4-year, $80 million deal in the offseason, was originally scheduled to move to the left tackle, but Smith should hold down Patrick Mahomes' blind side after joining the Chiefs on a 1-year pact in May. It's important to note that Smith's play has dropped significantly since his time in Tampa Bay, when he was one of the better left tackles in the league, but that interior and right tackle should be enough to solidify this top 5 unit. Number 3, we have the Detroit Lions. At left tackle, we have Taylor Decker. At left guard, we have Jonah Jackson. At center, we have Frank Ragnow. At right guard, we have Halapulu Vaitai. And at right tackle, we have Penei Sewell. Aside from the Eagles, the Lions have the best offensive tackle combination in the NFL. Decker is a steady presence at left tackle, while Sewell would likely be a premier blindside blocker if Decker wasn't around. Vaitai is a question at right guard after missing the entire 2022 season, but Graham Glasgow, Logan Stenberg are Detroit's roster as depth pieces if Vaitai goes down again. And number 2, we have the Cleveland Browns. At left tackle, we have Jedrick Wills Jr. At left guard, we have Joel Bitonio. At center, we have Ethan Pochik. At right guard, we have Wyatt Teller. And at right tackle, Jack Conklin. Teller and Bitonio represent the #1 guard tandem in the league, while Pochik was a welcome surprise at center. Cleveland boasted one of the NFL's most efficient run games in 2022, and the front 5 was a critical part of that effort. After the Browns re-signed Pochik, extended Conklin, and exercised Will's 5th-year option, all 5 members of the offensive line are under contract through at least 2024. That level of continuity and the presence of an elite O-line coach in Bill Callahan should keep Cleveland near the top of our rankings for the foreseeable future. Who has the best offensive line in the NFL? Well, that would be the Philadelphia Eagles. Outstanding in both pass blocking and run blocking, the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line has held the top spot in our rankings since the 2022 preseason. Even after some minor turnover, the Eagles are still #1 heading into the 2023 campaign. Right tackle Lane Johnson and center Jason Kelce are arguably the 2 best players at their position in the NFL, while Jordan Mailata is a top 10 offensive tackle. Philadelphia lost right guard Isaac Seumalo in free agency, but they already had prepped for that by drafting Cam Jurgens in the 2nd round of last year's draft. There you have it, our top 10 offensive line units in the NFL, as written by Dallas Robinson and as narrated by Dalton Miller. Thank you guys for stopping by. But before we go, make sure that you guys are liking this video, make sure that you guys are subscribing to the channel, and make sure, guys, you are hitting that bell, because you do not want to miss any of the content that we have coming your way. Trust me, it is a lot.